Assalamu alaikum, welcome back everyone, it's Mr. Kamalta speaking, welcome again and nice to see you again. We still talk about this amazing kingdom, plant kingdom. Subhanallah, we have a very different kinds of them, and we have some of them have a flower, some of them don't make a flower, some of them make fruit, some another don't. We have different kinds of the plant and also different ways to reproduce or to make a new plant. Okay, today we will talk about something very important for the plant to make a reproduction. But at the beginning, let's make a simple revision about the plant kingdom and about the different groups of the plants. As I told you before, the plant has two very big groups if we want to classify the plant with their structure. We have plant have stem, root, and leaves. Okay, and we have another kind of plant without all of this. Okay, now the plant has the plant has stem, root, and leaves. We can classify them into three groups. The flowering plant, okay, it means make flower, and the coniferous plant, these do not make flower, of course, coniferous plant, okay, and fern or horsetail plants. Okay, of course guys, this flowering plant makes seeds, okay, produced by seeds, and also coniferous plant produced by seeds. Okay, but in other hand, the fern and all the plant without root, stem, and leaves, all of them reproduce by spores. Okay, by spores. All of them reproduce by spores, and we take them before, and we spoke about all of them before, about fern or still, about mosses and other plants without root, leaves, and stem, and like that. Okay, our talking in this session and next session, inshallah, we will talk about the flowering and coniferous plant. Okay, now let's start with the coniferous plant, but I will give you a little bit information about the flowering plant at the beginning. All the plant make a flower should to make fruit. Okay, that is rule, guys, because that we classify tomato and the cucumber as a fruit flower, and they make seeds also, by the way. Now again, all plants make a flower, make fruit, and inside the fruit you can find the seeds. What is the job for fruit? Why we want fruit to be the seed inside the fruit? Why? What is the job of fruit? Now the seed, guys, it will be the most important part for the plant. Without seeds, we cannot see a new plants. We cannot see these different kinds of plant. We can eat it every day. Now the seeds are very important for all the plants, because that we want to make the seeds safe every time. Because that the seeds will covered by fleshy tissue that's called fruit. If we take the watermelon, for example, as an example, okay, you can see that the watermelon very big and very huge, and inside the watermelon you can see this very fleshy tissue inside this watermelon, and we have here inside this black these black seeds inside, many seeds and small. Okay, now that is the seeds of the watermelon, and that is the fleshy tissue. Fleshy tissue, it means when you eat it to make like that, right? Yeah, all of the fruits will be like that, and also tomato and cucumber and all the fruits, apple and another fruits you know. Okay, now again, the fruit, it will protect the seeds inside. Protect the seed inside. Without this fleshy tissue, the seeds will die. Okay, we cannot see the seeds again, because that we want to make the seeds safe every time, and these seeds covered by the fruit to protect the seeds inside. Okay. Okay, in other hand, the coniferous plant. The coniferous plant, guys, do not make fruit. No fruit. Okay, no fruit, and also of course no flower. No flower, no fruit. Flower, fruit. No flower, no fruit. Okay, but of course have a seeds. Okay, now where the coniferous plant will protect the seeds. Now I said for you the seeds want to be protected every time, and the flowering plant will protect the seeds by fruit. But how the coniferous plant protect their seeds? Let's take a look for the book and speak more about the coniferous plant. Okay, now I will focus on the coniferous plant. Now, at the beginning, where did this word come from? Why we said it conifer? Now, why we called it conifer? Now, because of the shape of all of them, it will be like cone shape. Do you know cone shape? Yeah, that is the cone shape. All of these plants have the same, shape, okay, of cone shape, because that we called it coniferous plant. Coniferous plant. Yeah, coniferous plant have the shape of cone. Okay, and as I told you, no flower, no fruit, but it has seeds, reproduced by seeds. Okay, now we will take the pinecone trees as an example of the coniferous plant. We will talk more about these pinecone trees. Okay, of course, these pinecone trees, it will grow up in places that will be cold places. Okay, like North of America, or in Turkish also, and another places that have most cold atmosphere. And of course, the squirrel like this conifer or this pinecone very much. Okay, anyways, now where is the pinecone protect the seeds? Now the pinecone protect the seeds on the surface of the cone. Okay, you can see that I uploaded some videos to look over where the seeds it will be. Okay, now in the surface of the cone, okay, yeah, it will cover and protect the seed. Okay, and at the beginning this cone it will be closed, but when this cone make a fertilization, we will speak about that in next session inshallah, it will open and get out the seeds. Anyways, the seeds it will be inside the cone. Okay, in the surface of the cone, on the surface of the cone. Okay, let's talk more about the pinecone or about the coniferous plant. Okay, most of coniferous plant have two kinds, female and male. In general, guys, in general, all plants or most of plants, most of plants, okay, have two kinds to make it reproduce. Now we want to make another plant, have male and female part, male and female part. Sometimes both of them it will be in the same plant, male and female. Some another time, like this pinecone here, the male it will be in the part of the plant, and the female it will be in another part of the plant. Okay, look over here, this pinecone. Okay, and this is the male, and that is a female. Okay, that is male and that is the female plant. Okay, now male it will be up and female it will be down, and sometimes it will be the opposite. But anyways, now what is the difference between male and the female? Can you see that now the male will be totally different than the female? The male will be small, yes, it will be small, but female will be big. Okay, now the female bigger than male, and also the female it will be the male it will be yellow sometimes, but this one it will be brightly brown. Okay, yeah, this one brown, not like this. Okay, we have a different. And also guys, the male sex cells that called pollen, this one produce something called this powder above of the male cone that's called pollen. Yeah, called pollen. Yeah, this pollen is the male cells. Okay, these are the cells the male use it to make a new plants. When the wind come, a lot of wind come, it will carry a lot of the pollen powder and go to the female and enter there. When the female come inside, when the powder of pollen come inside the female, it produce seeds. Okay, by this way the seeds can be produced. Okay, that is the way to produce the seeds. After that the seed will fall down from this female and grow up to make another plant. Okay, as I told you guys, this plant we can find it in places just have cold atmosphere and like that. That is the coniferous plant. We are talking about that now. Okay, but let's talk about another lovely part on all the session, the flowering plant. Let's take a look. Let's take a closer look for the flower. What is the flower parts and what is the job of the flower? Let's ask you this big question at the beginning. What is the job of the flower? As you know, each part of the plant have job. Okay, each part of the plant has job. Like stem to transfer water and nutrients, root absorb water, leaves make food, flower to make a new plants, to make something called reproduction. To make something called reproduction. What is the reproduction? Reproduction is a very simple process for all the organisms, not just for the plant. All organisms want to make reproduction. Reproduction, it means to make a new organisms. All the living things make reproduction, but maybe by different ways, but all organisms make reproduction. Without reproduction, we cannot see these different organisms every day. All of the new organisms come from the reproduction. Okay, now reproduction is how the living things make new organisms or new offsprings. Now the plant flower, that is the part to make reproduction for plant. Okay, now for plant. Now we are talking about the plant. Let's take a closer look for the flower and what the flower parts and how this plant can make reproduction. In this picture, as you see here in page 63, you can see that the parts of the flower. Okay, we will focus on just the two important parts of the flower, and maybe in grade 5 and grade 6 you will take more parts about the flower, because the flower of course have a lot of parts, and we just take a simple information about the flower. Okay, now let's talk about the male parts and the female parts. At the beginning, guys, you should to understand not all the flowers it will be like that. We have another kind of plants. The male it will be in the plant. Okay, the male it will be in the plant. Okay, and female part it will be in another plant. Okay, both of them in the same plant, but male here in plant and female here in another plant. But in other hand, we have another kind of flower, both of them it will be in the same flower, female parts and male parts. Let's take a closer look for this to speak about the female and the male part. Okay, now let's take the male part at the beginning, guys. Okay, now the male part it will be this line, okay, and end it with this one. Okay, yeah, all of this part it will be the male part. Okay, guys, now the male part here called what? Yeah, the male part called stamen. All of this from here to there, all of this called what? Stamen. Okay, stamen, what is that? That is the male part for the plant. Okay, and the upper part of this stamen is called anther. Yes, the upper part of this stamen is called anther. Let's name it here by the blue. Anther. Okay, now this anther will make a powder, as I told you before. Yeah, this powder, yellow powder, that is a 6 male cells that called pollen. Okay, called pollen. Yeah, this yellow powder above of the anther produced by anther, this called pollen. What is the pollen? Pollen, it will be the male cells. Okay, now pollen, it will be the male cells for the plant. Okay, that is the pollen, this powder it will be produced here. Let's go for another part of the plant that's called the female part. In the middle, that is a female part. Okay, all of the female part from here to there, that's called pistil. All of this from here to there, this is called pistil. Okay, pistil is a female part for the plant. Okay, now of course, guys, the pistil have not just not just one part. We have maybe 4 parts for this pistil, but as I told you before, we just take a simple formation about the this flower. Okay, now the lower part of the pistil, this part called ovary. Okay, this part down here called ovary. Inside the ovary, we have the female 6 cells that called eggs. Okay, eggs. Okay, now guys, the eggs, it will be the female cells. Female cells. Okay, now the pollen, it will be the male cells, and eggs, it will be the female cells. It will be inside the ovary, the lower part of the pistil. Now that is the male parts, and that is the female parts. When the pollen come here inside the female parts, maybe will moved by wind, maybe by insect, maybe by another things. We'll talk about that now. It will produce a seed. Yeah, when the pollen come inside the eggs and they will mix it with each other, they will produce seeds. That's the way to produce seeds. When the seeds form it, the flower will fall down and the seed will be protected and protected by the fruit. It's real amazing, subhanallah. Okay, now as you see here, the seed will covered by fleshy tissue that's called the fruit to protect the seed inside. Let's take a look for this lovely flower. Okay, and this, as you see here, where is the pistil and where is the stamen? As you see here, this is stamen. Okay, and that is anther. That is stamen. And that is anther. Okay, and above of this anther we have here this pollen. Okay, that is a real picture for the flower. Okay, all of these are anther. Okay, and inside here in the middle we have pistil. Okay, you can see that is a pistil. Okay, and the eggs will be here inside it. Okay, and sometimes the insect like honeybee, for example, it's attracted by this very lovely color and this very good smell come out from the flower and come to absorb the nectar from the flower. And with this action, sometimes the honeybee will take the pollen and the pollen will moves down to the eggs and make seeds. Okay, now by this way we can see the seeds and the flower will fall down to make a fruit around the seeds. Let's talk about the story of fertilization. Let's take it.